Welcome to Bedcrime Stories podcast. I'm your host, T. If you like all things true crime, if you like it delivered in a peaceful, tranquil manner, if you like it clear and concise without drama, then I highly recommend you subscribe. And if you like what you hear, please smash the like button. It's a free way you can help. And now, without further ado, let's dig in. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I hope that you're having a great day so far. Today I'm going to start off by talking about the Noah Presgrove case. It continues to haunt me. Many people believe that despite Noah being found lifeless along the side of a rural highway in Terrell, Oklahoma, in the early morning hours of Monday, September 4th of 2023, that the 19-year-old did not die as a result of a hit-and-run accident. It seems more likely that Noah sustained his injuries elsewhere and was then transported to the side of the highway and dumped. Noah attended a party at a nearby house on Saturday night and Sunday night into Monday morning. Some of the partygoers either aren't talking or are telling stories that continue to change. And we all know that the truth never changes. Some of the kids who attended the party say there was an accident with the Polaris side-by-side owned by Noah's friend Jack Newton, in which Noah was driving. They claim that Noah flipped the side-by-side, but that no one was injured, and that this occurred on Sunday night. At least one partygoer, Kaden Pressy, says he spent Sunday night at the party and even slept over there, and he did not witness or hear about any side-by-side accident. He did go out in the side-by-side earlier in the day with Jack Newton, but no one was injured and the side-by-side did not flip. So was there a side-by-side accident or not? Jack Newton claims it happened while he was asleep and that Noah must have come into the bedroom and taken the keys without his permission. Jack's father, Caleb Newton, made a post on the Justice for Noah Facebook page, and he said that after Noah was found deceased, he went to inspect the side-by-side. Caleb wrote that he saw no signs of damage or of cleaning. He said it was still very dusty, and if it tipped, it was minor enough not to leave scratches. So, did Caleb write this to support his son Jack's story that there was an accident with the side-by-side, but it was a minor accident and no one was injured? Or is Caleb possibly supporting the notion that there was no side-by-side accident, despite what Jack says? Shockingly, in the same post, Caleb also said that his brother-in-law lost his life hitting a parked car while driving his, meaning Caleb's, side-by-side. You'd think that Caleb would have either gotten rid of Jack's side-by-side or asked Jack to get rid of it after having a relative die while driving one of their side-by-sides. If that were me and that were my child, I would not want to risk possibly having my son or one of my son's friends die in such an accident. Let's face it, the parents of these kids knew that they drank beer at their parties. I would think that drinking a lot of beer and driving a side-by-side or a motorcycle or a car or any type of vehicle is like playing with fire. And keep in mind that these kids also had weapons at the party. But I digress. Let's get back to the side-by-side accident on Sunday night, possibly early Monday morning. Kaden Pressy was there the whole time, and he says he didn't see the accident, nor did he hear about it. Kaden did say that he fell asleep in the living room on a couch Sunday night into Monday morning, and he was awoken at 5:15 a.m. by Jack Newton coming in the front door and announcing that Noah was dead. When Jack burst in, Kaden said he looked around and he noticed that two of his friends had swapped where they were sleeping. So basically, Kaden said when he fell asleep earlier in the evening, At 2:43 a.m., two of his friends were sleeping in the living room with him. One was on the second couch and one was on the floor. But when Jack burst in the door and woke Kaden up, those two friends had swapped locations. So the guy who was on the floor was now on the second sofa, and vice versa, the guy who was on the sofa was now on the floor. So a lot of people have been wondering if there was a side-by-side accident, who were the other kids that were involved? Who was with Noah? Could it be that some things went down while Kaden was asleep between 2:43 a.m. and 5:15 a.m.? And is it possible that those two friends who swapped locations had been up and about during that period? And are they the guys who were with Noah and possibly Jack too, although Jack denies it, in the side-by-side when whatever happened to Noah happened? Whatever happened that led to all those fatal injuries. Note that this is me speculating. I'm not accusing anyone. I'm just wondering. Take a listen to what Kaden says. He will name who these friends are. Could these be the people who hold the keys to what happened to Noah along with Jack Newton? And by the way, there was another post on the Facebook page that said this, quote, "I live in the town he was murdered in. We know who it was, but the FBI and cops have no proof it was them, even though they tried turning themselves in. There was two guys that tried to turn themselves in, but they never got arrested." End quote. And it's also interesting to note that Noah's father, Victor Presgrove, has expressed on the Facebook page that the cops in this area are dirty. So with all of that out of the way, let's hear what Kaden Pressy says about his experiences at this party on Sunday night. And note that this audio comes from the podcast Partners in Crime. I will leave a link to it in the description.
Well, shoot, I'll basically just recite the night of and the night before.
All right, so let me set it up there. So, Kaden, why don't you take us through Saturday when you got there, and then take us through, and then kind of go from there to the end of the weekend where, you know, the horrible thing happened.
Well, alrighty. Well, I arrived there Saturday. It would have been Saturday night. I called Jack, asking him what he was doing, and he said he was throwing a party, or they were having a party, and he invited me. And so I came out, and we all started drinking and everything. Saturday was normal. There was I'd say about 30, 40 people there. There was a bunch of people there that night. And everything goes normal. We all go to sleep. Next morning we wake up, and it's just us there. It's, I don't know if I can say names or not, but it was me, Noah, Jack, Logan, Avery, Carter, Brylan, and Isaac. We all went out and ate at the Waurika gas station. It's also like a trucker stop. They have food in there and everything, and we ate inside of there. And after that, we just went back home, and Jack left me at the house with the girls, and Jack and Noah and Brylan and Isaac all went back to town. I don't know what they did, but they were doing something with their dad or something. And well, Jack's dad, I'm pretty sure. And me and the girls were just watching TV, cleaning up from last night and stuff like that. And around I'd say around 9 o'clock, the party starts up again, and people start showing up. A bunch of people get there. That night, well, before it got dark, they got back, and we had the idea to go drive around, and on the little Polaris Ranger, the side-by-side that everyone keeps on talking about.
Guys, I'm taking out the part where he talks about grabbing some of the weapons and the kids shooting at some animals. It's just kind of gross, and I didn't think it was necessary.
We came back right whenever it was starting to turn dark, and right before we got back, there's a giant culvert right beside the road, and Jack had the bright idea to jump it, and we jumped it, and I mean, it was pretty fun. Nothing happened from that. I know a lot of people were saying there was a side-by-side accident and stuff like that, but I don't think I was awake, and I also didn't witness it. So,
but at that time there was no accident.
Yeah, no, there was no accident. Everything was fine. And we go back to the house and start drinking again. I mean, there was a lot of people there that night too. There's 30, 40. And my cousin came around 10:30, and I had to stop drinking to keep an eye on her, because I know how boys are whenever they're drunk. They'll try to push yourself upon women, and I wasn't going to let that happen to my cousin. And so I stopped drinking and sobered up really quick and kept an eye on her for a while.
And this is Saturday night, correct? We're still on Saturday night?
Mm-hmm. No, this is Sunday.
This is Sunday. Okay, just want to keep track.
My cousin shows up, and I stopped drinking. I took a picture of her on the porch, and a lot of people have seen. And I took a bunch of videos that you can see from the party. I took those, like me sitting in the corner with my pink knee brace on, videoing, and you can see Noah walk around in his black shorts and shirtless as usual. And if you can look at it, I was zooming on a girl. That's my cousin. I was showing my mom at the time that she was okay, because she was worrying about her, and Georgia's mom didn't know that she was there. So, and I fell asleep after that.
About what time was it when you remember about falling asleep on that Sunday night?
It was around 2, like close to 2.
2 in the morning.
Yeah, 2 in the morning.
And before you went to sleep, though, Noah was still awake, walking around?
Oh, yeah, Noah was still awake, walking around.
And who else was there? Was Jack there, too?
Jack, I mean, it was mainly just the people that went to the breakfast the day before, plus Mikey. Mikey came there that day.
But was Jack awake at 2?
Yes, ma'am. And I woke up around 2:43, and my mom called me saying that she had picked up my cousin because they were worried about her, and they picked her up about a mile or so down the road because they noticed her location was moving, and told her to pull over. She was in the car with her friend, and they picked her up and called me, and I went right back to sleep after that.
When you woke up for that phone call, was there anybody in the room, anybody in the house?
Oh, yes, ma'am. They were playing beer pong in the kitchen.
Who?
Well, not the kitchen, the dining room or whatever. I'm pretty sure. I seen Noah, Jack, Jasmine, and a couple other people. I don't remember, but whenever I originally fell asleep, there was so I'll like do the hand motions to like explain it. So when you walk into the house, the living room's on the right, and there's a couch right here, and then there's another couch, and then there's a recliner in the corner that you can see where I'm videoing from. And I sleep on the couch closest to the door, and whenever I went to bed, Brylan was on the couch beside me, and then Mikey was laying in the floor, and Isaac was in the chair, the recliner. But whenever Jack burst through the door in the morning, Brylan Sweat and Mikey, they swapped places. So I don't know if there's some activity going on before then, around that time, but so Mikey was on the couch at that time whenever Jack burst through the door, and Brylan was on the ground.
Sure.
And
all right, let me back up a little bit. So at 2:41 when you first woke
2:43.
up, 2:43 when you first woke up after you fell asleep around 2:00. So you're probably just napping for like 45 minutes. You're out. When you woke up, you saw Noah and and a couple other people playing beer pong.
yes, sir.
Okay, and then did you go back to sleep after that?
Yeah, I went right back to sleep.
Wait, but when you woke up at 2:43, Jack was playing beer pong with Noah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And Jasmine was there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And
There's a couple others I don't really remember.
Was Avery there as well?
I know she was at the house. I don't know if she was in there.
Got it. But you didn't see her right then and there. Okay,
No,
so then after you noticed that, you just kind of like drift back off to sleep?
Yeah, I was tired, you can say.
but when you woke up at 2:43, so Isaac was on the couch?
No, Isaac was in the recliner.
Okay. So 2:43, Isaac's in the recliner, Mikey's on the couch.
Mikey's on the ground, and Brylan's on the couch.
Got it.
Okay. So let's do that
Right.
again. 2:43, Mikey's on the... Tell me where everybody was at 2:43 when you woke up.
All right, so Isaac's in the recliner. I'm on the couch. Brylan's on the couch, and Mikey's on the ground.
Got it.
Okay.
All right, so then you see them playing beer pong. Then you just kind of go back and you drift off into dreamland again.
Right. But before we get to Jack bursting in the door, let's just say what happened at 2:43 was when you went back to sleep, who else was laying around you?
So there was Isaac in the recliner in the corner, and there was another couch, and Brylan was on it, and there's two couches and there was a recliner. I was on one couch, Brylan was on the other couch, and Isaac was in the recliner, and Mikey was laying on the floor.
Okay. So
Got it.
all those guys were laying around, and you were laying around as well at 2:43. Meanwhile, Jack, Noah, Jasmine, and some other people were playing beer pong. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So then after you went back to sleep, what was the next thing that happened?
Jack comes bursting through the door at 5:15, and the time that I know it was 5:15 was because I felt like I just went back to I just fell asleep. So I checked my phone, and it was 5:15, and he yells, "Noah's dead! Noah's dead, guys!" And I'm like, "What do you mean? What do you mean Noah's dead?" And he said he's dead, and then he just took off to his truck and left. And I start waking up all the guys and tell them that we got to go because Jack says Noah's dead. And we all wake up and get dressed. And as I'm trying to find my shoes, I noticed that one of my Hey Dudes were missing. And come to find out later, Noah had it on.
Okay. So when Jack burst in the room, when Jack burst through the door at 5:15, where was everybody still sleeping in the same positions as when you went to sleep?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Not at all. Brylan and Mikey had swapped. So Mikey was on the couch and Brylan was on the floor.
So at 2:43, we have Noah awake. He's fine. He's in good condition. He's alive. We have Jack. We have Jasmine, who is also awake. They're all playing beer pong in the dining room. We have Kaden, who hadn't been drinking for quite a long time, so he's a good witness. He wasn't inebriated. So Kaden says he's sleeping on one of the couches. Brylan is sleeping on the other couch. Isaac is in the recliner, and Mikey is on the floor. 2.5 to 3 hours go by. Then Jack comes bursting through the door saying that Noah's dead. Kaden looks around and he notices that now Brylan is on the floor and Mikey is on the couch. So were those two guys awake during the 2.5 to 3 hours? Were they hanging out with Noah and Jack and possibly Jasmine? And are those the witnesses to whatever happened to Noah? We know that Jasmine sent a Snapchat at 3:41 a.m. saying that Noah was missing. We also know that Jasmine's mother turned up at the crime scene along the highway and also at the party house and started helping to clean up the home, get rid of all the evidence of alcohol, get rid of the firearms, etc. So did some of these kids try to come forward and tell the police what actually happened? And did the police, perhaps guided by the parents, say, no, we're not going to accept that information and we can't prove it, so we're not going to pursue that, even if you're saying you were there and you saw this? Is that what's going on? Are the police and some of the parents trying to protect their children from having negative consequences from what happened to Noah? Again, this is me speculating. No one has been accused of anything. No one has been charged with any crimes so far. I'm just trying to figure out who might have witnessed whatever happened to Noah. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, smash the like button, and I'll see you next time on Bed Crime Stories.